Shout out Near Falls with D Hall's podcast.
Welcome to Near Falls with D Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's Near Falls with D Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. Talking Near Falls with D Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
And we are live back again with your boy D Hall here on another episode of Near Falls in the WPIAL. Super excited to have you guys. Of course, another great week that was in the WPIAL. Two fantastic guests coming to you guys tonight. Miss Marlee Solomon from Kernan, the 118-pound hammer. Is going to be joining me and hanging out, talking about her run at the, what is it called? The Woman of the Ironman, or Woman of the Ironman, I believe. I was talking to head coach Grant McCarty today, just getting prepared for that kind of conversation a little bit later. And then as we dive back into the boys' side of things, I will bring on Mr. Hunter Kernan, talking about them Dairy Trojans. They are off to a steaming hot start, dominating over at the Moondles and then taking second place. I believe I got to talk to him whenever he comes on. I think there was 50-something teams at the tournament that they were at this weekend. So the Panther Holiday Classic, I believe. So it'd be very cool to talk to these two individuals. Of course, it's going to be a great night. Kaz is on baby duty, so he is out tonight. So it's just your boy hanging out with these two. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to dive into some results, and of course, we're going to look ahead and see what's coming down the pike. But first things first, before we bring on our first guest, let's bring on some of our sponsors.
Is not game day without Pizza Bosa. Perfect for the family and the guys. Right next door to the PPG Paints Arena in downtown Pittsburgh. Dine-in, pickup, and delivery available from 10 a.m. to midnight. Stop by 741 5th Avenue or call 412-575-7575.
Hi, my name is Antonio Reyino, owner of Reversal Health and Wellness. I've been in healthcare for nearly 20 years and seen the effects obesity can have on someone's health. That's what inspired me to offer GLP-1 therapy at Reversal Health and Wellness. New evidence-based research has shown remarkable benefits of the therapy, including reversing fatty liver disease, improvement of sleep apnea, and slowing the progression of heart and kidney disease. And unlike national online companies, you won't get lost in the mix and you're not just another number. You'll receive a personalized treatment plan tailored to your goals and your health. And if you're not near Newcastle, Pennsylvania, no worries. Telemedicine options are always available. Also at Reversal Health and Wellness, we offer IV hydration therapy. We offer 7 different IV cocktails infused with nutrients designed to restore balance, boost energy, and support optimal health. Rather, if you're an athlete training for a competition, or a fatigued mother or two, or recovering from an illness, IV hydration will benefit you. We're located in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, on Wilmington Road at the Maison Building. You can either book online or call the office. Thank you.
All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this again. There we go. All right. Again, those were two of our sponsors. We'll dive into a couple of our other sponsors here in just a little bit. But again, we are bringing one of our guests on right now, and she is one of the brightest young stars, not only on the boys' side, not only on the girls' side, but in the entire WPIAL. She is a dog. I'm super excited to talk to her, super excited to just kind of dive into her process over at Kernan. And I think I have her backstage, so let's bring her on. Miss Marlee Solomon, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
thank you for taking a little time out and talking to me and just talking about, first of all, this weekend. Of course, I should have led with that. Congratulations on your championship. What is it called? The Woman of the Ironman?
Yeah, Woman of the Ironman.
Very cool. So just
Thank you.
talk about that. I've heard it was a pretty dominant performance, even though you were maybe not 100%. Just talk about going out there and taking care of business.
Oh, I would say it was a really good tournament. Like it was really good competition and stuff like that. And I wasn't really feeling like the best, but like I kind of powered through, which I'm really proud of because like I've been wanting to win that tournament and like I really want the triple crown. So I kind of wasn't gonna like let not feeling 100% like stop me from getting that. So yeah.
Women's wrestling is one of a newer sport that's kind of fresh onto the scene, and of course, like I said in the opening, there you're a bright young star in that sport. What has it been like to be a part of that process and just watch it explode, especially here in Western Pennsylvania?
Oh, it's been really nice to like see more girls wrestling pop up and like just see more girls like grow wrestling, especially in this area because most of the better girls are from like the eastern side of Pennsylvania. So it's good to like it's good to have more girls from here win tournaments like that, like Isla, me, and then some other girls. So it's really good to see that.
Very cool. Talk to me about wrestling in some of these college tournaments. What is it that you want to go out? Obviously, you're Super 32 runner-up, Fargo runner-up. I mean, you name it. You've pretty much wrestled in all the top tournaments, and now you're dabbling in the college tournaments. Why do you seek that competition?
Because honestly, like that's kind of like a higher obviously a higher level than the high school, and, like, I just wanna be at the top level no matter, like, which age range it is, so, like, if I have to go to college tournaments to, like, learn what that is, then I'll do that, and, like, it's just a really good experience to learn and grow from it. So, yeah.
Talk to me about wrestling in the Canon Mac program. Obviously, you have head coach Grant McCarty. There's a bunch of other coaches that are around. I've talked to a few people today, and they were just super, super high praise for your work ethic and just always willing to learn and grow. Just talk about wrestling in the Canon Mac program.
Oh yeah, I love my Cannon Mac wrestling room. I have a lot of good partners, and they just always push me every day. And my coaches, they always support me, and they always push me to my limits, which is really good. And like the school and like the wrestling program, they always like pay for us to go to tournaments and stuff. So it's just like a really good like resource to have. So yeah,
Talk to me about what's coming up. Powerade next on the schedule, correct?
yeah.
What's it like having that event right there in your home gym?
Oh my gosh, it's so nice that we don't have to go on like a 5-hour bus ride all the way to another tournament. But yeah, I mean, we do have to help run it, but that's a good thing because then like our team makes money, so then we can go on more trips.
Good thought process. Talk to me about your training process. I mean, I've heard that you're kind of newer to the sport in general. You're not like one of these 10, 12-year girls. You've, what, 3, 4 years in the sport?
Mhm.
So just talk to
Yeah.
me. How did you get this good so quick?
Honestly, like I don't even know. I think it might be like a genetic thing, but like
Tell the
yeah,
moms
I don't
props. I love
know.
that.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I'm just kind of like a really competitive person, and just like if I'm not like the best at something that like I spend so much time on, then it's just like, why am I even doing it? You know what I mean?
Yes, I love that. I love that. Miss Marley, anything for me before I leave you go?
No, I'm just really grateful and thankful that you had me on here. So thank you so much.
Very cool, very cool. And thank you for coming on. And shout out to all the Canon Mac faithful there, Coach McCarty, and making this happen. Very cool. Again, one of the bright young stars here in the Whip. You'll make sure you check out some of her matches. Go look up some of the archives. Look at her. She knows. She's a dog. Go check it out. It's very cool stuff. And, I love watching her go. She's super impressive. Again, thank you so much for taking
Thank
some
you
time
so
out.
much. Yeah, of course. Have a
All
nice
right.
night.
You too. All right. And that was Miss Marlee Solomon. Again, please do yourself a favor. You're a wrestling fan, wrestling junkie like myself. Again, go and watch some of her matches on Flow Wrestling or on Rockfin, wherever she's competed at. I mean, It's not hard to find. Just look up her name. It's impressive stuff. We have dominant both women and men's here in the WPIAL. That's why I love the WPIAL so much. It's just fantastic stuff. And, again, this past weekend, we had a great weekend of tournaments. Sorry. As you guys know, I'm always eating some steak. Just got done smacking a little one with the kiddos. It was good stuff. But yes, so looking down this past week, we had a show on Thursday, just a little bit of a later show. So we had King of the Mountain this past week, Panther Holiday Classic, which we're going to dive into in just a little bit. Barnesville, Ambridge was up at Barnesville in Ohio. Norwin, Beast of the East, of course. You guys can see down there on the bottom ticker or in the top if you're on Instagram. Again, Instagram, I'm still trying to figure that out over there on the Instagram side of things. So I appreciate your guys' patience. I know my head is huge over there. I apologize for that. Still trying to figure it out. Maybe I can get leaps on it. We'll figure it out at some point. But so going back to Norwin, Landon sitting right there, you can see on the ticker. Beautiful stuff. Goes out and gets another Beast of the East title. Impressive stuff there. King of the Mountain littered with placers for the WPIAL. We'll dive into that in detail in a little bit. And then, of course, the Nurse Pro tournament down in West Virginia. There was it looks like 6, 7, 8, 9 teams, something like that there on that trip. And that's down in West Virginia at the University High School. I believe that's right next down to Morgantown. I have to ask, but a good group of teams down there, and of course headlined by some really good AAA teams: Franklin Regional, Trinity, Ringgold, Penn Trafford. I mean, there's some squads, of course. Sneaky Southmoreland's always sneaky in AA. Fraser always has a couple kids, so that's a good little tournament as well. And then let's see here. That's pretty much it. Connellsville and St. Ed's wrestled before the pit though on Sunday, I believe. That was pretty cool. So we'll check that box score out in a little bit. But I think, let me pull up the Panther Holiday Classic. We'll dive into that here as we bring our guest on here in a second. Before we talk about the Panther Holiday Classic, let's talk about a couple more of our sponsors. Again, these people are wrestling people. They're just great wrestling families. Go support these businesses. There's a reason why I have these people on the show, and why I talk about these businesses. One I got to bring up, of course, is Manor Valley Golf Club out there on the east side of the city. Normally, I have one of the boys, Kaz or Smitty, last week on Thursday, rather, talked about it is a fantastic place. Of course, Vinny D's spot. If you catch it on the right summer night, you might be able to play a couple holes under the lights on the front nine. It's just a fantastic golf course. The clubhouse is laid out. Go and have a couple pops and just hang out and have a good time. It's a really great place. I believe 20 minutes from Monroeville, right there, snugged up in like Penn Trafford, like Franklin Regional-ish area. And again, I'm not an East Side boy, so if I had that wrong, I apologize. But yeah, so check out Manor Valley. And then on the west side, my side, golf course that I have partnered with, and I'm super excited to bring you guys some knowledge on it, is the Fox Run Golf Course in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. It's a little bit northwest, a little bit on the north side there, northern Beaver County, but man, it is a sneaky nice golf course. I want you guys to go there, check it out. Very, very good value, and it offers great playability. First couple holes are pretty gettable, and you guys see on my Instagram, if I'm not talking wrestling, I'm golfing. So I love that, and I love supporting courses of support. Of course, it's a wrestling family with the Stroops. So go out and support Fox Run Golf Course. All right, let's bring on our next guest, shall we? Mr. Hunter Kernan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
First things first, I heard it's your birthday, dude.
Yeah, it is. I'm 26 today, so
26. Happy birthday. Great
thank you.
stuff, man. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank you.
spending some time with me on your birthday.
Oh, heck yeah. I love talking wrestling.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Well, first things first, man. I got my first taste of the Dairy Boys at the Moon Duels. I called the finals against you and Palmyra. First thing I'm going to say right off the rip, you boys run some legs over there, and they are nice. They are very clean. Me and my co-host there were talking about it, color commentator. Just is that something that is a point of emphasis for you guys? It seems like every single one of them were getting on top, and they were just hammering them.
Yeah, I mean, our head coach Troy, he was pretty legit with legs, so it kind of translates over in the rest of our guys. I know it's an area of emphasis that we work on pretty much every day the past 2 months, probably. I'd say we're hitting legs at least once a practice, and along with other areas, obviously.
Talk about this weekend, man. Obviously, you guys had a great performance. You go out and take second place. Was trying to count. I'm looking at the sheet right now. I think 56 teams there.
Yeah, there was a bunch. Honestly, I don't know the exact number, but I think there was over 50. A lot of schools from like the middle part of the state, that area. So it was good to get some good look at some different types of guys that we don't see all the time. We're not going to see that often until probably regionals.
7 place winners, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 8, 7. 7 place winners. 3 champs, or no, 2 champs in a second.
Yeah.
Really great stuff.
Sure, yeah. Well, obviously, we had 2 champs. Mason Horvath won. Pretty good match in the finals. I think he wrestled pretty well. Still kind of, getting him to open up his offense more. I think he could have scored more points, and I think Troy would tell you the same thing, and I think Mickey, his uncle, he'd tell you the same thing as well. So, but we're proud of his performance. I think he did well. And then next, right, Will McNeil, he won the tournament, freshman. Will's pretty good. So,
Pretty damn good, dude.
yeah,
Holy crap.
He's real good. So, I'd like to say I'm surprised, but yeah, I'm not. I wrestle Will all the time. I see him wrestle the guys in the room, and it's like he's gonna turn some heads, especially in our next competition. I think he's real legit. He's really good on his feet. He's good on the mat. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that he won the tournament at all.
That's nasty. Talk to me. He's not the only freshman. Obviously, Mr. Kiesecker, the 107 pounder, had heck of a day out there at Moon last week, taking out Foltz in the finals. He's a dog. I mean, this young class that you guys have, obviously I see you guys on the Instagram grinding at the TWC?
TDWC, yeah.
TDWC, Troy Dolan Wrestling Club. There
That's
we go.
Right, yeah.
Of course. Talk about, this group, and, obviously it's starting to, like, the fruit is starting to bear. I mean, you guys are one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah. Well, like the freshman group, it's really right now the main hitters. It's Mason at 107, Patrick Balger 14, Cam Olson in there 33, 38 range. Will McNeil, same in the middle. His brother Mikey, super tough. Then you got up top, you have Ty Blasco. So that's kind of the main group of guys. And I would say they're not, everybody says, everybody likes to pull the freshman line, but these dudes, they're not like really freshmen. We don't treat them like that. We don't baby them, and they're here to win, and they're trying to win right now. We're not waiting for anybody to graduate. We're not waiting for teams to leave. We're ready to win right now. And these guys, they live it every day, and you can look at their middle school results, and they're all pretty good, right? Like I think Will was Super 32 third, Kiesecker PJW finalist, Patrick got 4th, Cam got 5th, Blasco got 5th, Mikey, he's 2-time blood runner. But if you look at the guys that he lost to there, I think they got 3rd and 4th, and they were very competitive matches. So, and then off of that, they go to NHSCA individuals, tournament champions, Northeast Regionals, Freestyle States, NHSCA duels, Fargo, Super 32 qualifiers. We went to 3 of them. I took some guys. Troy took some guys. I went to Elite 8. We went to um, Super 32 journeymen, and so these guys, it's like they show up and they're not intimidated by
I
anybody
love
out
that.
there. Yeah.
Talk to me, obviously, brother. You're from my side of the city. You're
That's
a Bethel
right.
Park boy, and
Yeah.
how the hell did you find yourself out on that side of the city?
Well, so Mickey's like my best friend in college, right? And then I would say when my brother was like a senior in high school, I would take him out to work out with Troy and those guys, and I'd run some practices out there. And then, he got hurt his senior year a little bit, and so really we weren't doing much club with him. And then, he graduated, and I was kind of looking to wrestle more so myself. And, obviously my connection with Mickey set me up with Troy again. And, I went out there and like a year and a half ago in the summertime. And then, I really I haven't left. So it's far. I mean, it's like an hour from my house, but I only go once or twice a week, sometimes 3 times, I would say, probably 2
Yeah,
to 3 times a week. So it's not a big deal. And I love doing it.
I love that. Talk to me. You touched on him there a little bit, but talk to me about your little brother, man. Stud for the Blackhawks as well, down there for the Mountaineers, opposite of
Sure.
the
Yeah.
Panthers. There, how do you feel about that, real quick?
Oh, I mean, I don't care. It's
Right.
his, he's at the stage where once he graduates, it's his journey, and
Mm.
I help him out when he needs it, but I try to kind of keep my distance to a degree, but I'm always there if he needs anything.
Just what I love watching him go. Obviously, he's down there at West Virginia doing his thing. I feel like he has a real similar style to you. You get your hands on him often?
Um, honestly, we wrestled. Well, I said we wrestled a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Um, no, I don't. We don't wrestle too often. What I do use him for, which I like, is I'll bring him out with me out to Derry, and he'll wrestle with some of the guys here and
Mm,
there, and or I have a room at my house in Bethel, and some of the Derry guys will come down to
that's
Pittsburgh,
awesome.
and they'll train with him, or I'll take them to Morgantown or something, and we'll all work out together. So, more so, he helps me a lot because I ask him about what do you think about this situation, and how should I handle this, and he gives me good perspective.
Yeah, man. Little brother stuff. I love that. I mean, I got a little brother. That's my dude. I appreciate that stuff.
Yeah,
All right, man. Last couple things I have for you.
sure.
Obviously you guys are making big moves. Where do you what do you have what Powerade coming up?
Sure, yeah, we got Powerade.
So,
This next
how do
week.
you feel about being in the tournament that there's tons of prep schools, obviously the best WPIAL schools are there, and what do you feel about the highest level of competition, I guess?
I mean, that's what we want. Like,
Right.
we want, our guys, Brady, Mason, Patrick, all the freshmen I named, Dylan Bateman, all those guys, you and Olson, like, they're trying to be the best. And so, to be the best, it's like you want to be in big, high level matches as much as possible.
Mm.
And so those guys, for them, it's important, I would say, right? It's on the season, but at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, it's like these dudes, they compete at high level, big level matches all the time. And so it's to a degree, it's another event, but at the same time, it's like, man, I wanna win this thing.
Hunter, anything for me or anyone you want to shout or anything you want to shout out before I leave you go?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to shout out, the coaches that I work with. I have a great time coaching with them. We have a ton of fun. I'll shout out the parents too, because the parents on our team, they're they're very committed to getting their kids to where they need to go. If it's off-season tournaments, practice, they make it happen, and they help a lot. And the last thing is I'll shout out the kids on our team because, those dudes are really good and they want to win. So, and that's what we plan to do.
I love that. Hunter, thank you so much for taking some time out on your
Sure.
birthday again. Happy birthday. Great stuff. Keep grinding on them Dairy Boys. They are impressive.
That's right. We will. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
All right. And that was Mr. Hunter Kernan. Again, Pitt boy, well, Bethel Park boy, then to Pitt, now out there at Derry. Great stuff. I just love talking to people that have pure passion for their program that they're involved with, and of course, he is definitely one of those people out there in Derry. I talked to Coach Troy Dolan earlier in the season on my coaches preview, and he just kind of mentioned that they just, it seems like everyone is on the same path, the same thought process. And Hunter echoed a lot of those things. Just they want to wrestle the best, they want to be the best. And I'm just excited. I was so impressed with what they did over there at Moon. I wanted to see them wrestle Moon, but Moon got upset against Palmyra. And there was some good matchups, and they pretty much won every single one of them. It was pretty impressive. And in some impressive style. Like Kiesecker, of course, stood out. It was almost a major. I think it was very, very close. Couple points I would think it was close to I would have given. But anyways, impressive stuff for Derry. They're going to be right there at the end of the year. And then, obviously I went out and had the family. We went out with to see the Burrow Kiski Dole again. I talked about it last week, but man, get your butt out there if you haven't watched one of those doles. It's incredible stuff, especially if you're a wrestling junkie like myself. Shout out Joey McCara and his wife for the yummy, delicious dinner before we went over there. Man, I was so full. It was so good. But again, thank you, Joey. Appreciate you, brother. Again, so as we dive back into the wrestling, I got a couple more sponsors I want to lay out for you guys. And this one in particular is one of my favorites. Again, Quest School of Wrestling with Mr. Jim Akerley. One of my favorites out here on the west side of the city, a legend in the sport, a legend in the WPIAL, of course. Jim is right there in Muse, Pennsylvania. Been doing it for years and years. Great facility right there. Go out, check out his stuff. If you haven't checked out my podcast, go listen to it. I literally just sat right down in his in his room there, right in the corner, and talked about his whole wrestling life. This is one of my favorite interviews of all time. So again, if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. And the last one I have, D1 Wrestling Club down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania, with Snapper. That's Mr. Jimmy Fleming. One of my favorites, man. I love talking to him. He's like a surgical mind whenever he breaks down wrestling. He is uber impressive stuff. So if you get a chance, you're in that area, go check him out. He's great stuff. That is D1 Wrestling Club down there in Jefferson Hills, Pennsylvania. Okay, let's dive back into some more wrestling talk, shall we? Again, it ended last week with, I believe the last thing I talked about was the Burrow Kiski Duel, and that was on Tuesday. There was matches on Wednesday. That was on Thursday. We had the Near Falls and the Whippy, a little bit of a different time. I had a wild week last week. Sorry about that, guys. But so this week, let's see if I put this, switch over the camera here for you guys. Present. All right, guys. Zoom in a little bit for you. All right, let's see. Looks a little bit better. So let's dive into King of the Mountain. Again, we talked about it a little bit there. Just a full tournament there, and one of the best in the state, in the middle of the state there. What we got? 27 teams, bunch from the middle. We had 6 teams, 8 teams, 9 teams, something like that. Let's go down and check. Whole bunch of listings. So I don't believe we had anyone in the finals. Bunch of 3rd and 4th. So let's break that down. Let's go top to bottom. Cam, Dana, West Allegheny, gets a decision over Gage Gardner 4-2. Cam is one of those guys that is going to be, I believe, pushing a Braden McConaughey. I believe Braden McConaughey's the clear class right there in AAA. There's some other guys. A Rush, I believe, from Cannon Mac. Was pretty good. Or I'm sorry, Carmona is the starter for Cannon Mac. He's pretty good. Right there as we look down the list in a little bit here. But Cannon Mac, we've talked about it before. Their big guys are really good. Braden Collins, 215. He takes third place, beats a kid from Bellefonte. Hunter Snyder takes third place. He out of Latrobe. Of course, he's one of my favorites, one of the young studs in the WPIAL. Julian Petrucci from Burrow takes fourth place at 152 pounds for Burrow. Jacob Stewart takes third place. He beats West A's Thomas Benchko in overtime. Sudden victory 1-3-0. Very tight decision in a double-A, triple-A matchup there. Cam Baker, winner by tech fall over Aiden Thompson from Cranberry to take third place. Lee Dressman, he takes third place, and I believe he lost 1-0. I was looking at the brackets here. He lost 1-0 in the semis there, which was it's impressive stuff, man. That's again, we talked about it a little bit on some of the shows I've been on. I think he's one of the best young freshmen in the WPIAL. Top to bottom, fifth place here. Carmona of Cannon Mac takes sixth. He's one of those guys I think is going to be right there at the end of the year in the WPIAL as the top big guys. Bryce Collins for Cannon Mac takes 189 third or fifth place rather. Moving on down the list here. Dominic Angelicio from Greater Latrobe takes fifth at 152. Collier Hartman takes fifth at 145. He wins by tech fall over Logan Maurer from Cumberland Valley. Looking down some of these results here. Basically, like as we look down here, bunch of teams here for the WPIAL and a bunch of placers. But man, all in all, no champs, no finalists. And that's just something to be said with the level of this tournament is really tough, man. And, we look at how this is structured here and how these teams, you guys see some of these teams on this list. And these are going to be these teams that are involved in the regional tournament here in a couple weeks. So that's, that's something to note here as we get down the line. And it's a great, I think that's why a lot of these teams that are in this tournament for the WPIAL went out there to kind of get their chops to see, how they feel against some of these teams and some of these guys in the middle of the state. Let's keep going down the list here. John Emma from Cannon Mac takes sixth at 133 pounds. This R Hempfield. I think that's the other Hempfield. Let me check. Hold on. That's the other side. I thought so. Didn't know that name. Anyways. So, little Chileb action. That's interesting. Moving on down to the 7th. There's another WPIAL boy here at heavyweight. I love that. Give me all the big boys. Gaiman Owens takes 8th. Aiden Kuhn takes 8th for Burrell. See, Ian Buccelli takes 7th, for Bethel Park. That's good stuff. Caden Crawford takes 7th for Burrell. We got here Gianno Gardner continues his nice start. He takes 8th place, getting on the podium there for the Big Macs at 127. Brody Bronson for Latrobe takes 8th at 121. And that is it. Oh, Anthony Jones sneaking in there for Shaler. I'm sorry. Just saw that at the last second. And a guy that's kind of been under the radar. And he has some really big wins. And I think that, at some point, he is going to be a problem, is Anthony Jones. He can break out at any point. So that's another guy there. But again, you look down that list, lot of tough teams. Very cool stuff. I like that tournament. It's a good one. All right, moving on. Let's see. The Nurse Pro. Look, so this is interesting here. Franklin Regional takes second. Trinity takes third. I believe the team that won it out there was the university tournament. University school, rather. And Trinity takes second. Franklin Regional takes third. Penn Trafford takes fourth. You love to see 3 top 5 WPIAL schools out there. Just looking down some of the results here, going to the bottom. Let's see here. We'll go complete results. Scroll to the bottom here. So in the finals, we had a bunch of, WPIAL matchups, as you guys can see on your screen there. I just love to see that, especially, kind of you got to flex your muscles a little bit if you're the WPIAL, right? Very good stuff there. To see this, Parker Jennings takes home the decision over Jackson Hoy. And that's interesting. There must be multiple, multiple people allowed in one team there, obviously, which is just something to note. Dylan Barrett goes and gets the championship for Penn Trafford. DeSantis gets it for Penn Trafford at 26. Canali at 132. DeSantis over Colangelo there at 126.53. That's a note. Tolliver goes out and takes second at 138. Smith takes second at 144. Firestein takes first at 152 for Franklin Regional. Let's see here. Ruane, 157. Those two there. This little group here for Franklin Regional, that's I feel like that's their problems, man. I love that little group there, and it's just tough. You can't really bump around because they're just so good. And that little spot there is Franklin Regional with Smith, Firestein, and Ruane. I love that little group. And Ruane defeats early in the finals there from Frazier 5-3. That's a good matchup. Christian Loeffler from Ringel goes out and wins it at 165. John Montgomery takes second at 215 from Franklin Regional. And then another big boy there for Southmoreland. Caden Shannon goes out and wins the championship at 285 pounds. You just love to see that kind of stuff, man. I love this. And this is sneaky, man. This is a good tournament because you get a lot of WPIAL matchups here that we can kind of, I call it data points. You know what I mean? Data points as the season goes along. We can kind of see where some of these guys are at, and obviously, when we get to the end of the year, some of these matches matter for possible seedings and things of that nature. But it is it's still only December. But that is, I think, one of the tournaments to note this year, or this weekend, rather. All right. So we'll talk more about this tournament. That is the Panther Holiday Classic. That is Derry that was at that tournament. Derry, there's a bunch of other schools there. I'm sorry, not just Derry. Derry was the squad that took second. But you have Armstrong, Avonworth, Bentworth, Derry, Indiana, McGuffey, Penn Hills, Quaker Valley, Seneca Valley, South Park, all in there doing their thing. Great tournament. So as we dive into, I think like we talked about there with Coach Kernan, 56 schools. Dive down to the bottom here. Brady Brown takes second. 189. Horwath takes first at 72. McNeil takes first at 145. That was just there. Let's do the complete results, though. Let's do that. All right. Now, another one that we got to talk about for the WPIAL, of course, is Philip Rierick. And I should have said him first, obviously. He was went out and did the thing last year. So he's, got to be, a force to be reckoned with there. He goes out and wins the championship here at the Panther Holiday Classic. For Armstrong, Brady Brown takes second at 189 pounds. Mason Horwath defeats Owen Ivsick of Bentworth 11-2. Matt Dana takes second. He makes the finals at 160 pounds. Let's see here. McNeil, of course, we just talked about him. He wins it at 145. Lucas Barr takes second for McGuffey at 139 pounds. I believe that's the other Trinity. I know it's the other Trinity, rather. And that is that. Look at some of those. Some really good hammers there. A lot of double A love in there. Moving on down to the third, fourth place guys. Let's see here. Higgins from Indiana at 215. That's good to note. I love watching Indiana start to come back. Of course, they've had some absolute monsters the last couple years. Drake McClure at Bentworth. He takes third place at 139 pounds. Austin Kasanovic, at 127 pounds. He takes third place for the Avonworth Lopes. That's good to see there. Bolger takes fourth at 114 pounds for Derry. Riley Smith takes third at 107 pounds for Seneca Valley. Always love to see the Seneca Valley boys in there. Of course, Riley Smith. Good stuff. Okay, let's see what we got here. Evan Olson, he takes fifth, and I believe he picked up his 100th win this weekend as well. Zach Hill takes fifth for Seneca Valley at 45 pounds. Bateman for Derry takes sixth at 133 pounds. And Kiesecker for Derry takes sixth there at 107 pounds. Going down to seventh and eighth, Thomas Wychuk of Seneca Valley takes seventh place. I love all the big voice placing. I know you guys probably get sick of me hearing me say that, but I love it. Garrett Newman, 160 pounds, takes eighth for McGuffey. McGuffey's got a couple guys. You love to see that. Camden Olson at 139 pounds for Derry takes seventh. Another McGuffey guy, Clayton Ely, takes eighth at 127 pounds. And that will do that for that tournament. Moving down. And again, kind of a lighter week. Chartiers Houston goes out and takes second at a tournament up there. Erie, the Major Tom Carl Invitation. Oh, that is cool. And, let's kind of recap here. We can kind of scroll down for the last couple matches. I want to bring up the quarterfinals, finals, or semis and finals there for Sidon. You look at the quarterfinals, goes out and gets a sudden victory to punch his ticket to the semis. Again, guys, this Beast of the East tournament is no freaking joke. And to follow it up, how he finished, sudden victory, and then he goes 8-0 major decision in the semis, and then goes 5-1 decision over Michael Batista in the finals. Boys, he's a dog. Not much else to say. It's something you guys all know. But he is impressive stuff. Nurse Pro tournament, we talked about that. I loved all the top teams there for the WPIAL. A couple of Beaver County teams wrestling at the David Wallace Memorial Duels up there in Sharpsville. Southside Beaver doing their thing. You guys kind of peeped that on their screen. Greenville Duels, Fox Chapel was up there. Chartiers Valley was up there. That's pretty cool. Laurel was up there. And then right here, the last one, I guess, is the St. Ed's Dole. So this was on Saturday. I thought it was Sunday. I got my days mixed up. But looking at it, started at 52. The Lilly brothers went out and did their thing. Lembo did his thing. But again, just obviously St. Ed's one of the best schools in the country. Very, very impressive stuff there. But you check out the box score. Just good stuff. Again, Connellsville, he took a tough loss there to Kernan Mac, but they're going to be just fine. I promise you guys. So don't ever sleep on the old Falcons. So yeah, again, we talked about the kind of weekend we had here in the WPIAL. Coming up is, of course, in about a week, I think. Today's Monday. So yeah, about a week is the Powerade tournament. Of course, Kaz isn't here tonight, but we are having a great show lined up for the day before Powerade, the Powerade Eve, if you will, Sunday morning of the day before Powerade. We're going to have Kaz, myself, bring a couple different coaches on, give you guys a new flavor, and kind of break down the Powerade tournament. And, obviously, it's one of the biggest tournaments of the year. And that's not only the tournament that, of course, you got Southmoreland Holiday Classic, which has a slew of WPIAL teams, which is, very, very good tournament down there in Southmoreland. So this is kind of the first stepping stone of the years, the Powerade, the Southmoreland Classic. This is, the weight, either dissension for some, or some get the 2 pounds, depending on how you look at it. But it's a great time of year. Of course, Christmas is just around the corner in a couple days. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas out there. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you, Miss Marlee Solomon, for hanging out with me. Again, guys, she is one of the bright young stars in the WPIAL. If you get a chance, go check her out. And head coach, or I'm sorry, not head coach, but assistant coach, Hunter Kernan over there at Derry. Happy birthday to him. Fumbled over my words there a little bit, which is no good. But thank you, Mr. Kernan. You're the man. I appreciate you for coming on and hanging out with me, talking some Derry wrestling. I was just super impressed with them over at Moon. And just love watching them do their thing. It's going to be a battle between them and their Borough Bucks at the end of the year. Again, have a Merry Christmas out there, you guys. Hug your family, enjoy it. Wrestlers, don't eat too much food, but sneak a little bit here and there. Have a good time, enjoy yourself, be merry, and hug the loved ones around you. It's a special time, and it's a special place as always here in the WPIAL. I'll see you later. Love you.